We continue our BYUtv web chats here on BYU Football Media Day with Michael Alisa representing the running backs here. We had Riley Nelson, then Ethan Manumaleuna. We're back to the offensive side of the ball now. How excited are you for the upcoming season?
Man, I can't explain what's going on here in the offseason with the running backs and with the linemen and the quarterbacks. I feel like that unit is the heart of the offense. You know, I like the receivers, but you know, with the run game, you need a solid O-line, and they look like NFL guys. You know, they're tall, they're slender, they're trim, and that's been fueling the running backs to work a little harder and the quarterbacks.
We had a lot of questions sent in for Riley about, you know, how is he going to stay healthy and not get injured during a game this year? And his answer in short was, I'm going to make the running backs do more work. Let them take more hits.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, and I'm ready to do it.
You guys like to take you're not going to break any ribs when you get hit. You guys are a little bigger. You're used to taking more hits, right?
Yeah, you know, and I like to be the kind of running back that delivers the hit. You know, I want to hit the guy before he hits me, kind of like that Adrian Peterson style of running.
The yards after contact.
Definitely,
type back.
Definitely. And you want to send a message to the defense. I'm coming every play. You know, don't tackle me.
What BYU running backs of the past do you think that you compare favorably with, that you seem similar to?
You know, I've heard people draw comparisons to Harvey Unga. I feel like, you know, when the first time I heard that, I was honored because, you know, I've always looked up to Harvey. He's bigger, and to me, I think he's faster and quicker, and he has better hands. But
just happens to be the all-time leading rusher in BYU
yeah,
history.
He's amazing. So, I've heard parallels to him and to Luke, but you know, I feel like I have different tools than they had, and you know, I'm just trying to be the best running back that I can be.
The running game was something that struggled in the early games last season. How do you ensure that that doesn't happen in the early games this season?
And I think that all that begins right now. I think that going into last season, there was a bubble of confidence, meaning it wasn't backed up by hard work. And I feel like what we're doing right now takes care of that because, you know, you can't replace that grind that you get in the weight room and on the field conditioning.
What's going on right now with the player-controlled workouts? I mean, what kind of guys are you working out with?
We're a pretty tight core with the running backs, and everyone's been showing up. Sometimes it's a problem because there's not enough time to get the amount of reps that you want because you're sharing time with other guys. But we correct each other, we critique each other, and we coach each other up. And sometimes it's easier to take criticism from your peers and more meaningful than taking it from your coach.
Do you work much with defense at all, or is it pretty much strictly the offensive guys?
Yeah, we'll work with defense. We'll do 7-on-7 with the defensive guys every now and then. But when we work with the offensive guys, that's when we kind of hone in on our key plays and polishing up our finesse.
I told Ethan that this morning we had Trevor Matich on, and he said this year's defense will be one of the best in school history. How does that help you as a running back when you go and you practice against these guys? You're practicing against one of the best defenses BYU's ever had that's got to make it better. Yeah,
when you're running routes against our safeties and their corners, you know, you have to do it perfectly. You don't want to drop a pass because they'll call you out on it too. One of the main guys is Brandon Ogletree. Sometimes I drop a pass and he'll be yelling at me for minutes. You know, as I'm walking to my sideline, he'll be telling me, "Catch the ball, Mike. Catch the ball, Mike." That's right. That's right. But you know, last year I feel like the defense carried us the first couple of games, and this year, you know, we don't want to be that limp limb that you have to drag along. We want to be a solid contributor to the game. I want to be right up there with the defense.
We're always looking for an excuse to show Y Awards dancing anytime that we can. We showed it when Ethan Manumaleuna was up here. You were a part of that too. Talk about this dance at the Y Awards.
Man, you know, it's something that you can't teach. You have to be born with moves like that. And I feel like, you know, through my childhood, that flexibility in my arms and my legs is something, that rhythm, you know, it's something that you can't learn. It just has to be naturally instilled in you at birth.
Are you saying none of you are natural dancers, or?
I'm saying that, you know, some of these guys tried to learn. If you look at me, though, that was complete, oh man. I forgot about this. That was too funny.
Oh, you can't forget about this. This aired worldwide on BYUtv, so
yeah,
the entire planet knows.
I feel like I get more, you know, I get more fame from that dance than I do from football.
Well, change that on the field this year.
All right.
Just
all right.
You know, do a little better, you know, good run game, and then you don't have to worry
about
I
thought you meant do some better dances after touchdowns.
That will work too.
Okay. Okay.
It has to be worth the 15-yard penalty that's going to come, though. But
definitely. Okay.
We can have some 15-yard.
Okay. Talk to Bronco first, though. I don't want to just do it all myself. I'll let him know that you told me to do it.
Okay. We've talked a lot about just the Polynesian tradition here at BYU. That dance in particular. I mean, how tight-knit is the Polynesian community, not just on the football team, but at BYU overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's a culture of love and of family. And, you know, we'll break down our team huddles every day with 1, 2, 3, family. And that means that you work hard for the guy next to you because he's your brother. And, you know, you try a little harder because you want your family to be better off because of your contribution. And it's not, you know, it's not about me, it's not about I, it's about us.
Brandon Doman recently went to American Samoa on a recruiting trip. How important is that Polynesian pipeline to the success of BYU football?
I think it's huge, and you know, I might be a little biased being Polynesian, but you know, I feel like having, like I said, that culture and that I mean, you got a lot of athleticism in Samoa. I've seen 300-pounders that can dunk a basketball. Having that pipeline into BYU will be super beneficial to our program.
Question coming in from Twitter asking who the better dancer is, you or Preston Hadley?
Oh man, well, for going off of the Dougie, Preston Hadley's definitely the better dancer. But if we're going old school, like Motown classics, I'd have to take that one.
Which guys on the team have a lot of personality? Because when we see them, especially us in the media, when we talk to them, I mean, you can get in media mode. But which guys, you know, cameras off, you're in the locker room, which are the guys that have just tons of personality?
Okay, Preston Hadley's one of them. Riley Nelson, definitely. You know, I'm kind of a clown in there. I don't know, I think we have a lot of fun in the locker room. You know, when the camera's off, we're, like I said, we're family, we're brothers, we tease each other. Everyone has like little inside jokes with each other, and there's no cliques this year. That's something that's a lot different from past years. There's no cliques. Everyone's in it together.
Do you guys ever pull pranks on each other?
No, nothing too serious. We don't do anything too mean, but you know, we'll make some jokes happen every now and then.
What's the best thing you've pulled off? Your best joke?
I think I just hit someone's cleats right before practice, but you know, I told him where it was right after. I mean, we didn't want to make him late to practice. Didn't want to get him in trouble, but I just want to
get him sweating a little bit.
Yeah, just get a little laughing.
Being a running back at BYU, which for a long time has been dubbed quarterback U, BYU's always been known for its throwing game, but you're here trying to establish the run game. How do those complement each other?
Well, yeah, so BYU has been known for its running game, but I also think, you know, tight ends and running backs have also been a staple at BYU. Going into this season, I just want to be, you know, a beast as a running back and some guy that can always be depended on and get the first down. And, you know, I think that having that strong passing game with Riley and with the wide receivers will definitely help me, you know, expose the running game, and that'll just complement each other back and forth.
With Riley Nelson as the quarterback, a mobile quarterback, we know how that might affect the offensive line, perhaps the receivers if he's throwing on the run. How does that affect the running backs, though? I mean, are you having to block more, kind of some uncertainty, like what's he going to do right here? He's not just staying in the pocket?
Nah, there's not really much uncertainty for us because we just do our routes, we do our blocking schemes, and if he wants to run, he runs, and that's going to confuse the defense even more because we're all doing our job, so you know, we're definitely selling the pass, and they're going to be trying their best to defend us, which will open up lanes for Riley in the run game.
Do you ever feel like he's showing you up sometimes with the moves that he's making, getting free from tacklers?
Okay, funny story.
That should be a running back's move.
So Riley was talking to me about, you know, wanting to get a lot of rushing yards this year, and I was like, well, time out, just as long as they don't cut into my rushing yards. But you know, we're just joking with each other. But you know, he does do a really good job, and if anything, it motivates me to do a little better in my job.
Okay, more importantly, who's going to be the first guy to get to 100 yards this year? Last year, nobody got to 100 yards in a game. Who's going to do it this year?
The guy that wants it the most. I want it pretty bad.
Okay, that's what I was waiting to hear. I wanted you to tell me that you were going to be the guy, not Riley Nelson. It's not going to be the quarterback. It's going to be Mike Alisa that gets that 100 yards.
Man, I got so close, like, there was like 4 games.
You had 99 and 97.
99, 97. It was like 80. I had an 84-yard game, but they called back like a 35-yarder. You know, so I'll be there.
Okay. Well, when Riley's taking some of your carries, you'd have been over 100, some of those.
Obviously.
When you see him, we joked about the high five that he did at the TCU game. You got anything like that up your sleeves? I mean, it's not necessarily a dance, but you can make some headlines in the end zone.
That was sweet. When he did that pumped me up. That was funny. You know, I need to work on it. I'm going to go home and stand in front of a mirror. Maybe I'll go to the dance studio here at BYU and work on some moves. You know, something to get the crowd going a little bit. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk to Preston because he does have some good moves.
He can give you some good stuff. So
yeah.
first time in the
I
end
do
zone,
respect his talent.
First time you're in the end zone, I'm expecting a little something here.
All right.
Brandon Doman going into his second year as the offensive coordinator. Do you feel the offense is gelling a little better now as he has a year under his belt calling plays?
Oh, no doubt. And we've already made changes to what we were planning on doing based on the mistakes that we made last year. And that's dealing with schemes and with packages that we threw in that were a little easier to key off of for defenses. So, our offense is going to be a lot better this year, being Brandon's second year, and also being the second year for Riley. And, getting rid of last year there was that quarterback situation that kind of hung over everyone's head. We kind of always had it in the back of our minds, but that'll be gone too.
Brandon said that he thought early on, especially last year, that the offense kind of lacked an identity. What does the identity of a BYU offense need to be?
We're a prolific passing team, and so when I first heard that, that's our identity. When I first heard that, I was like, wait a second, what's up with the running game? But you can't be a strong passing team without a powerful run game, and that's where our job comes in. And so, like I said, feeding off each other, if we can get good at passing, that'll open up the run game, and that'll be way good for us.
How do you gauge the success of a run game? I mean, at the end of a game, do you look at, okay, how many yards per carry were we getting? I mean, how do you gauge whether or not it was a successful ground attack in a game?
I look at first downs, I look at yardage, I look at yards per carry. If you're picking up, 3 yards per carry, that's not any good. But if you can get at least 4-yard runs, that puts defenses in binds, because second and 6 is a lot better than second and 7 or second and 8, because then they're not sure what you're going to do. It throws them off balance.
Gives you an opportunity, because second and long, we got to throw. Can we really run again? Have a third and long. So it opens up what you were saying, establishing the pass, because you still have an option on second down.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to look at first downs. You want to look at how many yards you're getting on your carries. It has to be at least 4 yards if you want to, really attack the defense. And you look at total yards.
So 42 is averaging 4.2 yards per carry. It's a pretty solid afternoon.
That'd be a solid afternoon. I mean that's the bare minimum though.
Okay, minimum 4.2 yards per carry for Mike Alisa. All right, well, thanks for joining us here on the Web Chats.